My name is Danny, and I am part of the PhotoBiz team here. I have been working at PhotoBiz for a little bit over about 4.5 years now, so you guys may have had an opportunity to work with me at some point. You may have met me at a trade show, maybe, or just heard me in the PhotoBiz live webinar series. So again, I'm very excited to have so many people join in today's session, and I hope I can provide some insight on social media for you today that you'll find rewarding and end up using with your business. So we're going to be just basically talking about social media today, covering Facebook and Twitter. And we're also going to be talking about our social media bootcamp service that we offer here at PhotoBiz. So we're going to jump right into things, and I do ask that you guys hold your questions to the end of the session. We are going to have a Q&A session with myself at the end, and you can just use the chat tool that's built into the GoToWebinar software. We're also going to have this discussion on Twitter using the hashtag PhotoBizLive. So if at any point during today's webinar you have any difficulty hearing myself or any problem seeing the slides, just send me a message and I'll do my best to try and troubleshoot that for you. I will say that a lot of times it does depend on your connection, so please make sure this is the only thing you're tuned into. And if you have anything streaming going, just pause that, and that will help out with your connection to the webinar today. Also, we are recording today's session, so it will be available on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PhotoBiz, so be sure to head over there to check out the other webinars and subscribe while you're there as well. So with that being said, let's go ahead and also talk about, why we should use social media, and let's talk about the social media bootcamp service as well. So let's move right into things. All right, so first off, I want to talk about Facebook today. And I want you guys to kind of take away from this a couple of different things. Let's talk about, why Facebook really is important for your business, and if you're not using it, why you should be using it. I'm going to try and skip out a lot of the facts. I know at this point you guys understand what Facebook is and how many users are on it. So I'm going to try and jump into more of the details that I think you guys will be more interested in. So I want to talk about what Facebook EdgeRank is. So I've got this great graphic here that I found on HubSpot's blog, and you guys can check them out on HubSpot.com. And it goes and it basically talks about the EdgeRank algorithm. And the EdgeRank algorithm is what Facebook uses to determine where and what posts appear on each individual user's newsfeed in order to give users relevant and wanted content. So obviously, as you can see here in the graphic, there are 3 different variables that go into making up this algorithm. And that is affinity, weight, and time decay. So breaking this down even further, let's talk about each one of them. So as I kind of wrote a little bit more information for you guys to help understand that. So the affinity would be basically measuring the relationship between the viewing user and the creator of the story, which in this case would be you and your friends. So the closer the relationship that you have with the people that are viewing your story, the higher the score you're going to obtain from the EdgeRank algorithm. So this means that people who are in constant contact with you, they view your profile a lot, they chat with you a lot, you guys chat on each other's wall, they're going to have a better score and a better chance of seeing that versus a friend of a friend. They're probably not going to have nearly as high of affinity in this equation. So next, we'll talk about the weight of your post. So the weight of your post can be measured in a couple of different things. So this is talking about the actual, let's say, how valuable your post is. So things that are ranked higher, and this is in order, are photos and videos, links, and then just your plain old text updates. So what I would recommend when it comes to increasing the weight of your post, guys, I would share a photo and then I would add text to the photo or as part of the status. So you can get really creative, and like I mentioned, on that photo you can go ahead and actually edit in some text to actually put whatever your status or quote or whatever it is that you're wanting to type out as your text as part of this update, you can put that on the photo. Now Facebook has made some changes, so again, be sure to check up on that on Facebook's website on how big of a text allotment you have to place on the photo. And then finally, we're going to talk about, time decay. And this basically, again, is pretty simple. It's as the post ages, it will continuously lose value. This means that, anytime your post, if it loses its steam, if it doesn't go viral and it's not a huge hit, my advice is to just let it go. Don't stress over it. Don't get all upset about it. Just let it go. Try again in the future. That's the best thing to do, because the worst thing you can do is just sit there and lose your own time and get stressed about a post not being successful on Facebook that you made. So what do we know about these three things? It means that, content is king. Content is going to rule Facebook and the news feed. And how can we, give good content? What is good content? What incentive are you giving them to come over to your Facebook page? Well, let's take a look at some other ideas I've got for you guys. So, some ideas that you can think about are sneak peeks, discounts, rep programs, a shout out, a link to a blog post. Give them something, give them a reason to want to fan your page. Give them a reason to head over to your Facebook. There's hundreds and thousands of pages and photographers and businesses that are on Facebook trying to be successful, but what can you do to stand out? That's what you need to think about when you make your post. So this is an example I found when I was just browsing around on my Facebook. This credit goes to Monica Burby of Photo Umbra Seniors. You can see here on Monica's fan page, this is just a screenshot, and we have here that, first off, she's tagging this client right here, so Jenna Thompson. And then what does she say? Had a great time photographing the gorgeous Jenna Thompson at our studio. This was one of her favorites. Give me 15 likes and I'll post another one of her faves. Well, first off, the tagging is crucial. You guys try and tag your clients when possible. You'll want to use the @ symbol before you type their name to tag them. Now, there are going to be times when you're not able to tag your fans, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have questions about that. You do need to be a friend of the fan on your personal level, or they need to be a fan of your page. So the tagging stuff can get a little tricky. I'll give you guys a heads up on that. But if you have more questions about it, let me know, and I'll try and do my best to answer them. What do we see right here? She wants 15 likes. She wants something out of her fans. Well, she got 35 likes on this. And then she got a bunch of comments on here. Then even better, this is the best thing you can get, her actual client interacted right here on her page. And that is really your ultimate goal, because, first off, when you tag Jenna, it's going to show up on her Facebook wall that she's been tagged in a photo, and then all of her friends can see that she was tagged in a photo. So that right there draws attention. Oh, let's see this. Oh, wow, this is, this great professional photo of my friend Jenna. I'm going to go take a look at it. And then I can see right here it was tagged by Photo Umbra Seniors. That's going to draw me over to their Facebook page. And then hopefully if you guys have your Facebook set up well enough and enough cool content there, they'll head over to your website. And to me, what you get out of this webinar and out of social media, that's really my ultimate goal. If you're going to invest your time in social media, I think the biggest thing you can do is to try and get them over to your website and, have a valid ROI on your investment of your time in social media. So this is a great example of a post, and shout out to Monica for doing such a great job on Facebook with posts like this. So other incentives you can give your clients and fans are going to be contests. Now, contests, some of you guys have already stepped into this realm and you're already attempting to do that. That is a great thing, but let's be very, very particular about the contests we host, because hosting a contest, it needs to be, you guys need to follow the rules and guidelines. A lot of people don't do this on Facebook, and I see it by even some major brands, and that's not a good thing to do, because if you don't follow the rules, you can actually get your page shut down. But the benefits of hosting a contest on Facebook are tremendous. You can gain tons of new followers if that's your goal. You can gain a lot of information about your followers if that's your goal. There's a lot of different things you can gain out of hosting a contest. And generally speaking, a photo contest for a photographer is going to be a really great way to do this. So how do we get around following the rules? Well, we want to make sure we use a third-party app, such as the ones I've listed here. So the ones I've listed here are OfferPop, ShortStack, and North Social. Now, these are just 3 of many different apps that are out there, and I just chose to pick these 3 because I actually have experience with each one of them. So that's why, again, I went with these. There are multiple ones you can find. Just go in Google and do a quick search for, Facebook third-party app for a contest, and you'll find a lot of results. Now, using each one of these is great, and they're going to give you a lot more benefits than just doing a contest on your own. So I'm going to leave this slide up while I talk a little bit more about the rules. And this is just the link to the Facebook rules and guidelines of hosting a promotion. So I encourage you guys to write this down or just go in Facebook and search for it. You'll be able to find it very easily. These rules are very easy to follow, and I actually took a screenshot of the ones that are relevant to, hosting a contest, and I'm going to bring that up for you right now. Okay, so this is a subject that it worries me for a lot of pages and brands because a lot of people don't follow this, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. If you're guilty of any of these, don't stress it. Just move forward because you know the right way to do things now. And we'll talk more about that. So first off, promotions on Facebook must be administered within apps on Facebook, either on a Canvas page or a page app. So that means, again, that's where those third-party apps like North Social and OfferPop come into play. Basically, some may say that they are forcing you to use a paid service. There are services out there such as OfferPop that give you a trial. A lot of them give you trials, or they let you use the service for free for up to X amount of fans. I believe OfferPop is allowing you to use their service until you have up to 2,000 fans on your page. Then they make you start paying for it monthly. The amount of tools that they have, however, are way more than just hosting a photo contest. They have other kinds of contests. They have the ability to have statistics that they track. There's all kinds of great information that these apps actually provide you, so I would recommend checking them out as well. Now, back to our promotions. These are the different things that your promotion must include. And again, these third-party apps, they're going to cover your bases on all this stuff. But if you're not, let's talk about what you can't do. So this right here, this line right here, you must not condition registration or entry upon the user taking any action using any Facebook features or functionality other than liking a page, checking into a place, or connecting to your app. For example, you must not condition registration or entry upon the user liking a wall post or commenting or uploading a photo on a wall. Well, and let's even go down a little further. You must not use Facebook's features or functionalities, such as the like button, as a voting mechanism for a promotion. Okay, I've seen many brands do this, whether it was a photographer or not. People will go on Facebook and they'll say, let's have a cutest kid contest. And they'll post a photo of their kid and they'll say, whoever gets the most likes on their photo wins. The winner gets a free session. Well, that's actually against their rules, and it's not a good idea to do that. A lot of people are doing contests where they mention using the like button or share the status or anything else. It's actually not the right way to do it. I see so many small businesses do this, and your page can get shut down, and that wouldn't be good because they might not let you open your page back up, and you don't want to get all that hard, you don't want to lose all that hard work of gaining all those fans and followers. And everybody, let's keep this little line in the top of our, in the back of our head somewhere. We reserve the right to reject or remove any pages for any reason. These terms are subject to change at any time. So I always like to remember that, a lot of people get really stressed out about Facebook, about Twitter, about social media. This is a platform that somebody built, and it is now very popular for businesses. But at the end of the day, if Facebook wants to close, they can close. If they want to delete your page, they'll delete it. They don't have to tell you why. That's really important to keep in the back of your head, because this is free marketing for people, and that's great, but at the same time you're kind of at their mercy. So keep that in mind whenever you're working on your Facebook and your social media. Don't let it get too serious for you as well. Keep that in mind. All right, so let's talk about the next thing that's going to help keep fans on your page once they are on your Facebook fan page. Creating a great looking fan page is definitely the first way to do this, and very important. So obviously we have a cover photo and a profile picture, and then you can also customize the tab images. Now the tab images, I'll show you guys more about that. This is where your apps can go that you would install, and I'm going to give you guys a screenshot here to show you, break it down a little bit further. So here is an example of the PhotoBiz Facebook page. Now, as part of the social media bootcamp service, we actually provide you with graphics for your Facebook and your Twitter. So we'll build those for you. So you can see right here that the dimensions, I went ahead and I wrote them out for you so you guys can see. 851 by 315 pixels are the current dimensions for the Facebook cover photo. Your profile resolution and pixels is 180 by 180. Now this is always subject to change, so keep this in mind. This is current, but this could change. Also the apps right here, like we have this Read Our Blog installed, they're 111 by 74 pixels. Sometimes they give you a heads up. I know on the apps they tell you the pixels, but on the cover photo and the actual profile photos, sometimes they don't tell you that. So keep that in mind. Also keep in mind what you actually place inside of your photo. Now ours is for a web solution business, but as a photographer or small business, they could look a little bit different. So these are some examples of cover photo and profile photos that we have created as part of the social media bootcamp service that we offer. And these photos, I think, do a great job of showing off what you actually are going to learn and see more of as a fan of the page. We have Bill doing photography here. He mentioned that he really wants to get into higher end, kind of more commercial modeling and give this, real elaborate look to his clients to make them really feel like a model. And he, we took this photo and incorporated his logo here. We also have other ones also seen here by Anna Harold Photography. We have a nice frame around each one of the photos with her logo here and her A as her profile photo. Now, the profile photo is nice to have something that symbolizes your business. I've seen a lot of people have a photo of themselves. This is really a personal choice, but if it's on a brand page, I think that it's a good idea to use your logo or something similar to it with your name in it. I have seen a couple where they used their cover photo and they said, "Hi, meet your photographer," and they had an arrow pointing to here, which was the profile photo picture of the photographer, and that's a pretty cool idea. That would work, but generally I would recommend just using your branding colors and your logo that you're using. That's going to be the best thing to do. All right, so we're going to go now talk about Twitter, and we are going to mention, I'm going to bring up just a couple of different things to talk to you about Twitter. So this is a picture of the PhotoBiz Twitter page, and I just wanted to bring it up first so we could kind of take a look at the newest look and feel of Twitter on the web. As you can see here, we have our background photo, which you can design as well, and we include this in our service. So try and incorporate this. Try and have on Twitter, put some photos here. Maybe put some more information about your brand. If you have a tagline, a link to your website, your contact number, an email address, you can use that as part of your space, part of your background photo. Now, also here we have our header photo with a thumbnail of our profile picture. The bio of your Twitter is going to appear right here underneath your profile photo. So let us go and show you a little bit more about Twitter. So for people who aren't familiar with Twitter, I do just want to give you a quick breakdown of what it is. It's 140 characters total per tweet. It's much more shorthand conversation. I would say that a good way to describe Twitter that I heard the other day is for you to follow people that you may not have as close of a relationship with, and on a personal level, and you can also share on Twitter a lot of useful information that your clients would want to see. And again, you can give them an incentive to be a follower of your Twitter page. So on Twitter, things are classified with hashtags in terms of grouping different keywords, and you can search their Twitter, search.twitter.com, and you can search for different hashtags. So how might this be important for you? You're probably wondering. Well, what you can do actually is you can search for hashtags that your clients are probably going to be using on Twitter, and also think about who you're trying to target on Twitter. Are you just trying to get seniors? Are you trying to look for engaged couples? Think about your style of work and what you're wanting to shoot, and then that will right away knock out a bunch of random hashtags and kind of narrow you down. So whenever you're on Twitter, make sure again you use the @ symbol whenever you mention somebody. So for example, if you wanted to tweet at PhotoBiz, you would, inside of your tweet, write your message and then end it with @PhotoBiz. And you can put the @ symbol in front of anybody's username. That's how you basically are tagging them on Twitter or want to join in a conversation and mention them, is what they call it. So it is fine to tweet often. It's a little different on Facebook. Twitter is much more conversational. There's so many tweets constantly going out there. Facebook, it's not a good idea to make 5 to 10 statuses a day on your business page. People are going to start to feel like that's a little bit too much, and it's almost like spam just because of what kind of content they're used to seeing on Facebook. On Twitter, things are a little different, so it's okay to tweet often, and that's not a problem. We again want to talk about giving them an incentive of what you can put on Twitter that will actually make them want to continue to follow you on Twitter. There's a lot of different things you can do. I see a lot of people taking behind-the-scenes pictures and then posting it directly to Twitter. That's a really great way to do it. Sometimes people will put discount codes only available on their Twitter, and so you have to go follow them on Twitter to get this discount code. They may post a link on Twitter that leads them somewhere. So try and think of different ways that you can give them a reason to come over and follow you on Twitter. And do this with all social media. It'll work out better for you that way when you think about it like that. This isn't an area for your business to go and post, "I just ate a sandwich today," or anything like that. But it is a good place to put your personal thoughts that are in regards to your business online. So Twitter is great for that. It's not for everybody, though, so just keep that in mind. Now, any kind of tweets you get or direct messages, make sure you respond to them. That's very key on social media. A lot of people, and you may feel the same way, if you send a brand a question, whether it's on Facebook or Twitter, and you don't get a response fairly soon, you're probably going to wonder what's going on over with that brand, and it might even rub you the wrong way a little bit, and you might not enjoy, the fact that there's no response coming in. For me personally now, if I write on a brand's page and they don't have the time to respond to me with a question, I'm a little upset about that. I'll give them enough time, but if they never write back, it just doesn't look good to your clients. So, you're probably wondering, can I find more than just a teenager tweeting mindlessly on Twitter? And the answer is yes. There are lots of different people you can find on Twitter, and I do believe firmly that you can find potential clients on Twitter as well. Now, how do we do that? Now, this is an example that I like to use, and that's searching for hashtags. And what you would do with that is, again, you go to Twitter search, and you'll want to look for hashtags that people are using. Let's talk about using something like engaged. If you go on Twitter right now, just on Twitter, even if you don't have an account, and you type that in as a keyword, anybody who is tweeting with the word engaged, hashtag engaged in it, it's going to show their tweets. Well, you can then narrow it down even further geographically based on where you live, which is great. If somebody's using the hashtag love, they could be a couple, they could be a senior, newborn if a mom tweets that. Also family. There's so many different things that you can search for that you could potentially find people. So think about your clients. What are they probably putting on Twitter as part of their hashtags? These are just some that I mentioned, and there's many other hashtags. Obviously, there's going to be trending hashtags. There's going to be all kinds of different things that's constantly evolving with Twitter. But if you go on and you look for things like hashtag engage and you're a wedding photographer, well, then you can now see people who are putting that in their status on their Twitter in their current tweet. So this is another thing that I find to be really neat too, is to check out their bio. Go in, and once you've actually found said person and you see their profile, take a look at their bio and you can see a little bit more about that person and learn more about them. So here is an example of a bio, again, on a personal base. This is my Twitter. I hope you guys enjoy my 1980s laser background. I put that up there to poke some fun. I have here hashtag passionate support agent at PhotoBiz. I have the @ symbol where I work, social media lover, gearhead, drifter, and second coolest guy in Greensboro, NC. Again, that one is an inside joke, but I have hashtagged Greensboro, North Carolina. So right away, I can find a lot of information about whoever I find using these hashtags in their bio. And that's great because somebody might have in here currently engaged to at Danny Allegrezza if someone was in their profile, or at Jenny Jones, whatever. And that right there, you know that this person is engaged. You found them by just searching for the hashtag, and then you can, again, narrow it down based on where they live. You can go, and there are a lot of search engines out there for Twitter that are going to allow you to do a geo search where you can base it on a mile radius from a zip code, statewide, all kinds of different things. A senior might have class of 2000 as a hashtag, or high school hashtag senior. A mom could have something in there regarding their newborn or family or being a mother. So check their bio and then go in and follow them. And so once you follow them, they're going to get a notification on their Twitter account that they have been followed by you. And then you have this great-looking Twitter page. You have a description of your brand, your business, and you have a link to your website, all right in your bio. So what does that do? That might spark them to say, you know what? I don't have a wedding photographer, and I'm engaged, and this wedding photographer just followed me. And their website's awesome, and their Twitter looks great, and they look real professional. I'm going to give them a call. That right there could just be one little touch that you made just by following their Twitter account, never even communicating with them, and now they potentially could be a client of yours. So that right there, I think, is the power of Twitter, and is really important to keep that in mind. So again, let's get back to design. A great design is going to pay off on Twitter. It's going to pay off on any social media outlet and your web presence in general. Just keep that in mind. Again, we will create the graphics for your Twitter and your Facebook as part of our social media bootcamp service that we offer. And here is an example of one that we just completed, and I think this looks awesome. This is for Liz Erickson. She's based out of Atlanta, and she mainly shoots weddings, a little bit of newborns, but wanted to focus on weddings. So when our designer here created this, they did a really great job of keeping her branding, inside of the design, which I think is great. So that was a really good example of how you can make your Twitter look awesome. And again, this is something that we do as part of the social media bootcamp service. This is another one that we created for Carrie Brookins, and Carrie has a great little background here that shows off her different work, and this is a PSD. Keep in mind, all our graphics we create are PSDs, so you can quickly go in and swap out the photos for a new one whenever you want to update it. Her brand is described as very classy, high-end, elegant. She's very professional. Her site's super clean. super clean lines and colors, and I think that this is a great representation of that, as you can see here in her background, her profile photo, and in her header photo. This is another one that we just created for another client of ours, and this is just the mock-up we did, but you can see right here, again, we are using their logo, we've got some photos showing off their work, the branding is consistent, this background is something they're using on their website as well, and so the branding stays consistent all the way across the board. And you can even see the background, the Damasque pattern right in here in the background as well that we incorporated. So the design is very important to do on Twitter. Not that many people take advantage of it, but it's a good idea to do so. So that's my insight on Twitter for you guys. I do want to now talk a little bit more about some of the other big players that are out there. As you guys can probably tell, I'm very passionate about social media, and I could talk about it all day for you guys, but I do have to take time to answer questions coming up soon. So I did truncate Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest into a little bit smaller sections. So let's talk about each one of those. Okay, so Instagram is basically a mobile app that now has a website version that is strictly photo sharing. If you know about Instagram, then you can disregard my next few lines, but if not, Instagram, I know a lot of people have questions about it. It basically allows you to take a photo from your phone or upload one that you already have, edit it with a filter, and then create comments. Some people describe Instagram as, you know, their daily life in pictures is what they have turned their Instagram into. I notice a lot of people around me have moved off of Facebook and even Twitter and jumped on Instagram. It does allow you to communicate with people one-on-one by mentioning them using the @ symbol. And again, it uses the hashtags to help users quickly classify and find photos. So if I took a photo of my car, I might use the hashtag Nissan, or I might use the hashtag of something that's in the photo if there was something I was talking about in a particular photo. If you took a photo of a senior, you might hashtag senior, hashtag class of 2013, and any other hashtags that you want to use to describe the photo. And what happens with Instagram is it's just gotten so viral lately, and it has a huge growth by the younger generation. And I'll say there's some fairly young people on Instagram, so keep that in mind. I'm down 14 to 18 years old on Instagram, and this may not really be the place where you're going to go find your clients, but if you have an Instagram for your photography business, you can take photos behind the scenes and snap them, and then ask your client if they're a senior or a younger generation client, hey, are you on Instagram? Well, what's your Instagram name? Let me tag you in this photo. And then you type the @ symbol and you type in their Instagram username and you tag them and you give them a little sneak peek. And that right there, you know, little things that you can do like that, I think it makes the client experience better. And that's what we're all after, I believe, you know, making the client experience the best one possible. How can you show that you're a better photographer than the other ones out there? Maybe it's not just in your shooting ability, but it's in the experience that you deliver to your clients. And that's something that not everybody thinks about. So just keep that in mind, especially if you're struggling with this or just in general. You're doing something out of the ordinary that not other people are doing yet or may never do, and that's going to separate you from other photographers and other brands. So that's good that you're doing that. It's good that you're attending today's webinar and learning about these things. So keep that in mind. Proud of you guys. All right, YouTube right here, dead in the middle. YouTube, obviously, as many of us know, there is a lot more to YouTube than just funny videos of cats doing things. It's the largest video network that is out there. It has the ability to leave comments on the videos, as we know. It's very easy to share the videos. Lots of stars have been found on YouTube, and lots of, YouTube is just super popular. It is, again, something that you can brand, so you can create custom graphics for YouTube, and that is very important because you want to keep branding consistency across all the platforms that are out there. So keep that in mind. Also, YouTube is going to allow you to upload any kind of a video. So some ideas for you guys if you're wondering, well, what can I put on YouTube? Video testimonials are a great way to do it. How about this? Maybe you go and you have like a little flip share camera at your shoot, and you have a great experience, and you want them to make a testimonial. Well, give them that little camera, record a testimonial with them real quick, or use your camera. Most of them have video now. And then you can upload that testimonial on YouTube, or maybe make a commercial. Lots of photographers are starting to get on board with that, but I haven't seen that many actually follow through and complete it. But having these commercials and these testimonials, different things, the fact that they're there is great. It shows people that you are a serious brand, you are a professional, and that people have worked with you and had a good experience with you. So I do think that having testimonials online is really a great idea. Also, slideshows. So many of us already are creating slideshows with Animoto or some kind of a similar platform. Why not just upload them to YouTube as well? And then once they're uploaded, you can share them to Facebook, to Twitter, wherever. And you can also embed them on your PhotoBiz site. So if you have a PhotoBiz website, you have the ability to put the video on your website once it's uploaded from YouTube. Now, a lot of people don't take advantage of this. Well, if you don't have any videos, it's understandable, but if you do, why not put it on your website? All right, and let's go and talk about Pinterest. Now, I will be honest, Pinterest isn't one of my specialties just because it is not something that, for what I use social media for, I find that relevant for me. However, anybody can use Pinterest. It is obviously to be noted that right around 97% of the users on Pinterest are female. It was invite only for a really long time, and if you don't know about it, you probably will end up dabbling in it at some point in the future. Or maybe you use it, but you never thought about how you could use it for your brand. Well, if you don't know what Pinterest actually does, it's a pinboard style photo sharing website where users create and manage different collections, and which they call boards. And you can pin different articles, images, links to your own pinboard. A lot of people put things like inspiration, or there's a lot of DIY stuff in terms of decor, furniture, different outfits to wear. Fashion is really big on there. And so it's not necessarily super popular when you immediately think about it for a photographer, but when you realize that users spend over an hour per session on Pinterest, you start to think, well, I kind of want my things, I want my brand to be seen on Pinterest. So if you're a wedding photographer, think about all the shoots and photos you take throughout your career. You've got so many detailed shots of food, of rings, of fashion, of dresses, of shoes. You can put those on your Pinterest board, and somebody might end up on your Pinterest board and end up, really liking a dress and repinning it to their board, where they have, a board of potential dresses that they want to wear, the one they want to wear in their wedding. Well, again, this isn't a direct connection to that particular client, but the fact that they land on your Pinterest, that you'll have a link in your description to your website, they might end up on your website, and you never know. It could be a potential client that finds you just because of Pinterest. And again, that's what I feel like is really exciting about social media. If you're able to, reach a lot of these clients, and you're able to do it for free, and you didn't have the opportunity to do before, why not take advantage of it? There's so many people out there that still feel like, they're not a believer in social media. You have a lot of people that say it is the new form of marketing, and your standard print is dead, and sending out mailing cards isn't going to work. But I look at it as another tool inside of your marketing resource kit. If you can keep that in mind, I think that's a good thing to do to make yourself stay humble with that. I feel like I talk to a lot of people who really stress out about the number of likes or followers they have, and that's not a good thing to do, because you could have a fan page with 15,000 followers, but if nobody's coming to your website, or you don't even have a link to your website anywhere, what good is that going to do you? I mean, it boosts your ego online, but it's not bringing any money in your pocket, and that's the main goal, in my opinion. So keep that in mind. All right, so do you guys need boot camp? I really just touched base on the basics of social media today. I tried to give you guys some facts you may not have learned about. There's so much I can talk about, and I'm very passionate about the subject, but I don't have enough time to do that in today's webinar. With your feedback, maybe I can do one on a specific platform in the future if you guys enjoyed today's webinar, so I'd love to hear your feedback. But back to our question of do you need boot camp? Boot camp is going to be for anybody. No matter what your skill level is, we can help you out. So if you have no clue where to start, you don't even have a Facebook business page or Twitter, I'll help you set them up, and I'll build the graphics for you, and we'll get you to learn the basics of posting and tagging, and we'll get you up and running. If you're an intermediate to advanced, I'm sure we can chat how to host contests and put third-party applications on your Facebook and iframe in your blog if we need to. It really doesn't matter, but we can help out no matter what your skill level. You're going to get one-on-one training, and I'm actually the agent that does the social media boot camp, so we'll get to chat for multiple sessions on the phone as part of your service, and we can talk about really whatever you want to do, and I'm there to consult you and help you out with social media. We also include a really nice ebook that has a lot of great statistics, rundowns of what each platform are, and they come with a lot of tips and tricks, so it's a great read to have. Again, it comes as part of this service, and it's a great value as well. So you can see it's a one-time setup fee, and if you visit photobiz.com/business and go to add-ons, you can see the social media service there. It's a one-time setup fee. It is $250, and you will pay that one time, and it'll start your service. So again, I feel like it's a really good value. A lot of companies out there charge a lot more for just the training and consultation call in one call. You get multiple calls, the ability to have your graphics created, and the ebook as well. So we think it's a pretty good value that's out there for what you're getting in this package. So I know I had a lot to say today, but I'm sure you guys also have a lot of questions for me. So now would be the time for questions. Hopefully you guys have some questions for me, and go ahead and chat them over, leave me some feedback, and let me know what you think. All right, I have a lot of questions that just came in here, so I am going to start from the earliest that they came in and work my way forward. So hang on just a moment, guys. First question comes from Vince, and Vince asks, while I do get my clients' permission to post their photos on my Facebook page, I was cautioned by a peer photographer on also using their names. Is this just being paranoid? Vince, I really think it's kind of your best judgment. If you've been posting your clients and tagging them, that obviously is going to put their name inside of the photo. So I feel like if you're just sharing the photo, that's great. Your current fans can see your recent work, but to really take advantage of Facebook, you're going to want to tag your client in there, and that will obviously, again, it's going to put their name. And the reason why it's important to do that is so it shows up in their news feed and on their wall that they were tagged by your business page. Now, let's be serious here. If this is something that you feel like they wouldn't want to be tagged in, then don't tag them. Use your best judgment. The subject, I feel like it's a little iffy, is boudoir, just because of the nature of it. I don't really know if I think boudoir belongs on social media, but at the same time, some people post it on there and don't have any problem with it. So that's totally up to you here. So hopefully that answers your question, Vince. Next question from Neil. I was told when tagging a senior on their photo on Facebook that it's better to message them and let them tag themselves. I was told you would get a higher ranking on Facebook. That could be true. I haven't read whether or not it would, Neil. I know that really the main reason you would probably want to do that, in my opinion, is the fact that sometimes you're not friends with the client and you can't tag, you can't tag them. There is a setting in your account that you'll want to make sure is checked, and it allows people to tag photos that are posted on your wall. If it is not allowed, then people are not going to be able to tag themselves inside of there. All right. Julie's question was, my fear is that I think it looks a little desperate or cheap if you share a photo and say if she receives 15 likes, I'll post another one of her favorites, like you're desperate for new fans. Does that cheapen your brand? Julie, I don't think so. I mean, for one, I know just the client that I tagged, Monica. She is super awesome photographer, super sweet person, and I don't think it looks desperate at all. I think that it encourages interaction between her current fans. You know, getting the likes on the photo isn't going to generate her new fans to her overall count, so she's just kind of pushing that content to her peer, her circle of fans already. So I don't really think that it looks desperate like that. I think that the seniors find it enjoyable. I think that they almost look at it like a game. And remember to take a step back of who your market is. How old are the clients that are on your page? Now, that right page I showed you, it was Photo Umbra Seniors. So again, that was for her senior photography brand, and that's why I feel like she probably does that as well. Is that again, it's for seniors. So you know, it's something to keep in mind. The actual clients that you're asking to do this. All right, my next question comes in from Pam. And Pam, first off, I'm excited to work with you further on your service, and we'll be in touch soon, so I'm excited for that. Her question is there a best time of day to post images on Facebook? A lot of people do say that there are a best time of day to do that. You can look online for that same question. The opinion varies throughout, and it also changes based on the algorithm that Facebook is using. A lot of people do find, at least I personally have found, in the morning, closer between 9 o'clock, and then again at around 12:30 is good. When people are on lunch, checking their Facebook when they're allowed to, if they're allowed to at work. Now with Facebook being mobile, you can check it anytime on your phone. So I don't know if that necessarily ties into it. You have to remember your post has to have good edge rank if it's going to show up on their mobile news feed on their phone. So you want to keep in mind those other things about making a good quality post, including the photos that you actually share and what is on, the photo that you're sharing, the status that goes along with it, if it's a link. When I know for me, when I'm mobile browsing Facebook, I'm going to follow links that I find really cool that a brand may have shared, but generally I'm just zipping through my news feed. So if an image comes up, that's just this great image that blows me away, I'm probably going to stop and tap on it and either like it or leave a comment. But if you just post a status like, I'm excited to photograph some models today, I probably, you're probably going to get skipped over, and that post isn't going to carry that high of a edge rank either. So keep that in mind as well when you're creating your post, that a lot more people now are on a mobile platform. All right, this question I get asked a lot, and it's about Facebook ads. We don't actually run any ads as part of the service. I wouldn't be managing any ads for you. I'm a big believer in organic results, just like at search engine optimization. It's not to say that Facebook ads don't work, but I will say I have seen some pretty weird results from Facebook ads sometimes in terms of the likes coming in from people in different states, different countries even, that you would not expect them to know about the post. So I would try and get as good results as you can organically and then go from there. So do different things that are going to drive a lot of traffic to your page, and you guys are bound to get good results with that. Okay, I have a question from CW. In your opinion, what is the best social media platform to start with? Well, to answer that question, I'd have to ask you one. Who is your target market? What is your target, what is your brand based on, and who are you trying to target? It really just depends. If you are trying to go right after seniors, I would say, try, and if you only had to pick one, I would probably still stick with Facebook. I mean, Facebook is really popular, but I will say with the younger generation, it is kind of fading out. And even in general, I just read an article last night that Facebook lost 6 million users recently, and a lot more people are deactivating their account and signing off. And speculation of, will Facebook become the new MySpace? Well, I don't know the answer to that, and I don't think anyone will know. But what makes social media so much fun is that, and why it's so popular with technology is it's always the search for something new and something fresh. But Facebook kind of was the one that stood out and got to make it past that didn't fizzle out. So I think it's still going to be here for a while. I don't think it's going away. All right, Kelly, will a bootcamp service include guidelines on items as how often to post on Facebook and Twitter, what time of day? Yeah, it sure does. Really the big thing is that you're going to get to talk with me, and I'm going to try and learn more about you, more about your brand, and learn about who you're trying to market to. So I can certainly always give you those different tips, and I'm really more importantly going to try and learn about you and your brand. And I do see here that you own a custom bakery, which is really cool, and I think you could do a lot of cool things with that. I saw locally here in Greensboro a yogurt shop that just opened that they have a really great person managing their social media, and they are doing a good job with sharing very interesting photos, really cool statuses. They're giving away discounts for becoming a fan on their page and a follower on Twitter. And so I think you can apply those same tactics, and really most businesses can, to be successful with social media. We have a question here from Tasha. Can I link Twitter with Facebook, and what are dimensions for a custom background on Twitter? Tasha, I'll do my best to email you those dimensions. You can find a quick search on Google for Twitter dimensions. Maybe just put 2013 in there after, and you'll find the latest ones. But linking Twitter with Facebook, you could technically do that, where every time you tweet, it posts to your wall. I would not recommend doing that, just because it's not a good idea to post the same information to Facebook and Twitter. Give them different content. You have a different group of followers more than likely that are on Facebook and Twitter, and if it's the same people following you, they might want to see something different on there. So it's usually not a good idea to post the same information from one platform to the other, in my opinion. If you guys have more questions about the boot camp, I do know that somebody asked about that. You can find that on our homepage by going to photobiz.com and actually just clicking on the services. Let me show you real quick. You would want to go right here under Products for Small Businesses and scroll to Add-ons. And this is the service right here, the Social Media Bootcamp. And when you're logged in, you'll have a tab that'll say Services, and you'll see Social Media. So you can actually go in and you can take a look at that service right there as well. So I just wanted to bring you guys to that briefly, and I'm going to jump back into our presentation. And I know we had a question about the dimensions again, so I'm going to pull that slide up for you. All right, hopefully you guys can jot these numbers down here, so whenever you're going to create your cover photos, you'll see this as well. All right, questions here about photos from Bonnie and Sherry. Bonnie's questions was more about the resolution of stuff on Facebook, and also Sherry wanted to know about when I refer to putting text on photos. Both great questions, so let me jump on the web and take a look to show you guys some stuff. So when I'm talking about putting text on the photo, what I'm talking about actually is just kind of like what we have here. This is a graphic with text actually inside of it. We still have a status and a link to register, but there's a lot of information right here. And you can have a call to action, whether it's text to do something. You can have that right inside of there. Let's take a look at another one. This is a great example right here. You can see it's Throwback Thursday. We've brought a popular feature from the PhotoBiz cart over to our e-commerce solution then and now. It tells you exactly what's going on here. Someone who's scrolling through can click the photo and learn what's going on just by seeing that in the photo. Again, right here, we have a link to the article, so it's all easy to access. We have everything branded, and this is something that we're doing throughout. So you can see that again here, newest design. So whenever you're talking about a photographer, it might be a little bit different, but it's just a good idea to keep that in mind, that you can do that by putting text on a photo, and it's going to get a little bit higher edge rank. Well, having a photo will give you the higher edge rank. Having the text on there will probably catch their eye a little bit more, which is what you're going for. To deal with photos not being as sharp on Facebook, I'll send you guys some links if you give me an opportunity to grab that. There are some actions that are out there that you can run on your photos to make them a little sharper on Facebook. You do want to, again, it does kind of come back to Facebook's resize process as part of their uploader. So I'd have to know a little bit more about what you're uploading before I could give you guys a better answer to that. So maybe if you guys want to email me directly, I can help you out with that a little bit more as well. Okay, Monica, as far as your question, Monica's asking, is there a way to embed a pin it link on our website so if someone sees a photo they like on our site, they can easily pin it? Currently, right now, we don't have the ability to pin a particular photo on the portfolio sites or the HTML5. However, inside of the PhotoBiz blog, if you're blogging, they do have the pin it button built in directly, so they can pin that particular blog post and it will grab the photo inside of the blog post as well. So we are looking into a little bit more integration with it on the websites, but as far as Pinterest integration goes, it is limited to the blog right now, the blog platform that we have. Okay, and if you guys want more information about the sharpening the photos, I'm going to put in the chat window my email address. Just send me a message, and it is danny@photobiz.com, and I have to get those articles together. I don't have them prepared right now, but I can give you guys some more information. So I'm sending out my email address, and I'm going to say, email me for more information about uploading photos to Facebook. So you guys can take a look there. All right, so hopefully I was able to answer that question. I know a lot of people have been asking about that, so let me take a look real quick here. And thank you guys for so many questions. I really appreciate chatting with you today, and I'm glad that you joined in, and I'm having the opportunity to chat about social media with you. All right, next question from Deborah. Is it a good idea to make all the sites consistent with the same images and design? I think that it may not necessarily have to be the same images, but it's a great idea, yes, to keep your branding consistent. So if you already don't have your branding together, that is a great place to start before you even jump into social media and get your branding together. There are a lot of, we had a webinar hosted by Lori Nordstrom that is on our YouTube channel that goes over branding. Really, most of the photographers that have done webinars with us, they talk about branding, and they talk about things that they've done on Facebook and Twitter. I know that there's so many different things that each photographer that's hosted a webinar has done to gain more likes and followers and keep their Facebook fun and fresh. I can think of a couple of examples that came to mind. I know I talked to Rod Evans, who did a webinar that's on our YouTube channel, and he talks about how he has a Facebook party at his studio. And what he does is he gets some chips and drinks, maybe some pizza, and he gets his reps to invite some of their friends, guys and girls, and they come over to his studio. And he has like a Foursquare location, so they check in on Facebook. He wants them to check into the studio using Facebook check-in, and then he obviously, he has some vinyl, I believe, in his studio that has like his Facebook username and Twitter. And what he does is he has a little get-together. He's got music going, fun studio location, and he takes photos of all the kids hanging out, and he gives them, as their incentive for coming to the studio with mom and dad, he takes their photo on a backdrop, and he gives them one photo that they can use as a Facebook profile pic. So he's giving them a free professional photo, like a headshot, or just a, whatever kind of shoot they want to, whatever they wear, they come in. They're getting their photo taken, and they're going to be tagged on Facebook, and then they can use that photo. Well, he then puts his logo on the photo, which tells the other friends where the photo was taken from. And then while the parents are there, they're getting to see their kids interact and have a great time at the studio. And they're also getting to talk to one of his employees or him about his brand and potentially coming in and do their senior photos. And then I'm sure he gives the rep who brings the most, the rep who gets the most kids to sign up, gets some kind of incentive. There's so many different ideas that are out there that you can do as well with that. So doing those different things with like rep programs is really good. Let them be your voice on social media. You might be thinking, oh, well, I'm a lot older than, these seniors, and, how am I going to really fit in with them? Let them be your voice. Let them be your ambassador. That's the whole point of the program, after all. Julie asked a great question. What do you think about asking open-ended, sort of personal questions on your business page to drum up conversation? For example, just saw this morning on a photo page, what sort of amazing moment has happened in your life recently? What do you think about posting that? Do you think that fans like to get personal or rather stay business or photography oriented? I was going to say that's a great idea. Almost, I would say probably more people go a little too personal from what I see on Facebook than strictly business or photography. But every now and then to put in something that's a little bit more personal, or if something that's great that's personal happened to you, you can still share it. You'll probably get a lot of interaction with your clients. Asking open-ended questions like that are a great idea you can do. If you have a senior fan page, you can say, what's the current style that everybody's wearing, and then you could even go further and say, like, take a picture and tag yourself wearing, what an outfit you would wear to your shoot, your photo session, and you could win a free photo session. And what you could do is you could have you could do this on maybe like Twitter, where the rules are a little bit more relaxed, or like on Instagram, and have them tag you on either one of those platforms, and then that would again generate traffic and more buzz to you. And that's really what's important to do these different things. Those are some other different ideas that I've thought about that people could be using those platforms for. I do want to go ahead and answer just one more question here. For anybody that joined in late, we have been recording the webinar, so I will have this on YouTube. It'll probably be online within the next day or two, but I do want to let you guys know that you can check it out there on youtube.com/photobiz, and be sure to subscribe so that you get updates on whenever we put a new video on there. And we have lots of educational videos that are out there that photographers have taken a lot of time to put together, and they're completely free. So I do encourage you to check them out and let us know what you think. Leave us a comment. We love your feedback. Email me your feedback from today's webinar. I really would like to hear what you guys thought, and if you would be interested in me hosting another webinar that was more focused on a particular subject and a particular platform, maybe even. If you guys just want me to talk about Facebook for an hour, I could probably whip something up and we could discuss that. It's really up to you guys, and we really, again, appreciate everybody taking the time out of their day to join us. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close out the webinar. You're going to have an email sent to you with the webinar recording, so you'll be able to check that out. And if this subject is a little still hazy for you, or you want to learn more, take a look at the bootcamp service. Maybe it would work out well for you. And for that one-time fee, having that conversation with me and getting those graphics created could really kick off your social media. And hopefully that would help out your brand and business. So again, it was really a pleasure to hang out with everybody today and talk about social media. And I look forward to hosting again in the future. So thank you again for joining, everybody. Have a great day.